In the cold quiet of deep space where stars blinked like distant memories, a small human ship floated alone, its metal skin pitted with micrometeor scars, its engines silent, its lights barely glowing, inside the bridge of the Odyssey. Lena Carter sat, in the captain's chair though she had never been captain. She was just a systems engineer, 28 years old with tired eyes and calloused hands. But now she was the only one left. 3 months ago, the Odyssey had been part of a 6-ship science fleet sent beyond the known rim to study gravitational anomalies near the Kale Nebula. It was supposed to be routine, a 6-month mission with data collection, sample retrieval, and safe return. But then the silence came. It started with the Aurora, her sister ship one moment, sending cheerful updates about crystal formations and asteroid belts the next. Nothing, just static. Then Dead Air Command tried to raise them, no answer. Then the Horizon vanished. Then the Voyager. Then the Steadfast, owned by one. The fleet disappeared, not in explosions, not in distress calls, just gone as if the universe had swallowed them. Lena had been in the lower maintenance bay replacing a faulty oxygen recycler. When it happened, she heard the alarms. Then nothing. The comms went dead. The lights flickered once and stayed dim. She sealed the bay, waited 24 hours, called out on every channel. No one answered. She climbed to the bridge, found it empty, chairs still warm, coffee cups half full. But no crew. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Just absences. He checked the logs. The last entry was from Captain Ellis, just 3 words. They are here. After that, nothing. Lena ran diagnostics. Life support was stable, power at 72%, navigation offline. Weapons never installed. This was a science vessel, not a warship. She was alone. For weeks she tried to find answers. She scanned the area, replayed sensor logs, studied star charts, but found no wreckage, no energy spikes, no alien signatures. It was as if her crew had simply stepped out of reality. Then she saw it, on the edge of long-range scanners. A shape unlike anything in human databases. Massive, coiled like a sleeping serpent, made of smooth black material that absorbed light instead of reflecting. It gave off no heat, no emissions yet. It pulsed with a slow, steady rhythm like a heartbeat. Lena knew she should run, but running meant drifting forever in empty space with no hope of rescue. Earth was months away, even at top speed, and she had limited supply. She did the only thing she could. She approached as the Odyssey drew closer. The structure reacted not with weapons, not with shields, but with a soft hum that vibrated through the ship's hull. A sound that felt more like a question than a threat. Then 3 figures appeared on the bridge. Lena jumped to her feet, hand reaching for a sidearm. She didn't carry. They were tall, nearly 8 feet, with slender limbs and skin like polished onyx. Their eyes glowed violet, not bright but deep. Like distant galaxies, they wore no clothes, no armor, yet they radiated calm authority. One stepped forward, its voice clear and gentle, though it spoke without moving its mouth. "We are the chorus," it said. "We have watched your kind for many turns of your world." Lena swallowed but stood her ground. "Where is my crew?" "They chose," the chorus replied. "Chose what? To join us, to shed the pain of separation, to become part of something greater. You killed them. No, we offered peace. Most accept it when they understand. The truth." "What truth?" "That all things end, that loneliness is the true enemy, that unity is the only escape." Lena's fists clenched. "You don't know us. We know all who reach the edge of their time. Earth is not at its edge," she said. The being tilted its head, then showed her something. The main view screen shimmered and displayed Earth from orbit, but it was wrong. The blue marble she loved was gray ash. Covered continents. No city lights. No cloud movement. No radio signals. Your world fell silent. 3 cycles ago, the chorus said, your species is gone, you are the last sparkle. As breath caught her, knees trembled, but she forced herself to stand straight. "No," she whispered, then louder. "No, you're wrong. Why would we lie? Because you see silence and assume death, but humans. We go quiet when we're fighting." The being studied her, then nodded. "If you believe your world lives, prove it. How enter the trial? What trial? Within our vessel there is a chamber where truth is revealed. If you face it, and do not break, you may leave if you yield." You join the chorus peacefully. Lena didn't hesitate. "Take me." The beings led her through corridors that seemed to breathe, walls that shifted like living tissue, until they reached a circular room with no doors. Only a single chair in the center site, the chorus said. The trial shows you what is real. It cannot be fooled. Lena sat. Darkness swallowed her. She stood on a ruined street in New York, or what was left of it. Buildings crumbled, trees burned, sky choked. With smoke, she called out, "Hello, anyone?" No answer. She ran through empty neighborhoods, past rusted cars and shattered windows. No footprints, no voices, no life. A voice echoed in her mind. "Accept it. They are gone. You are alone." Lena fell to her knees. Tears streaming, but then she remembered her mother's voice reading bedtime stories, her little brother chasing fireflies in the backyard, her best friend Maria laughing until she cried at a stupid joke, the smell of fresh bread from the corner bakery, the sound of rain on rooftops, the feeling of holding someone's hand and knowing you were safe. These things were real. They had happened. They mattered. You can't erase them, she said aloud. The ruins faded. She stood in a field of wildflowers under a clear, blue sky. The chorus appeared before her, changed. Now more human-shaped, its violet eyes softer. You did not deny the silence. You honored it and defied it anyway. Lena wiped her face. What does that mean? It means you understand grief. But you refuse to. Let it be the end. Is Earth really gone? We do not know for certain. We saw silence and assumed finality, but your kind hides in silence, to heal, to plan, to fight. Lena's heart pounded. Then maybe they're still alive. Maybe. The chorus turned and led her back to the Odyssey. Before she boarded it, spoke again. Why do you care so much? Because someone has to, she said. If I stop believing, then they really are gone. And because Earth is not finished. The serpent ship powered up, its coils glowing with soft energy as they jumped to faster than light travel. Lena watched the stars blur into streaks. Days later, they arrived at the edge of the solar system. Lena held her breath as the viewscreen focused on Earth. It was dark. Yes, but not dead faint. Signals pulsed from multiple locations, weak but unmistakably human. Radio chatter, encrypted military bands, emergency beacons. Her people were still there, battered but breathing. The chorus ship hovered in high orbit, silent and vast. Lena prepared the only working drop pod. You will go alone, the chorus said. I know they could destroy you if they fear you. Then they don't know me, she said. She climbed in, sealed the hatch, and launched as the pod screamed through the atmosphere. Heat shields glowing red. She activated the emergency broadcast channel. This is Lena Carter of the Odyssey, she said, voice steady. I am returning from Deep Space Sector 9. If anyone can hear this, I am coming home. Below in the ruins of Chicago. A teenage boy huddled in a subway tunnel heard the voice over a scavenged radio. He grabbed his sister's arm. Did you hear that? In a hidden lab beneath the Rocky Mountains? Dr. Elena Cho dropped her coffee cup. The signal was real in a coastal settlement near what used to be Seattle. A woman named Grace looked up from mending nets and whispered her name. Lena's pod landed in a field outside Denver. The grass was scorched, the trees bent, but green shoots pushed through the ash. She stepped out wearing a patched flight suit, her boots crunching on broken glass. A man appeared at the tree line, rifle raised, eyes wary. Lena raised her hands slowly. I'm human, she said. He squinted, then his eyes widened. You're from the fleet. He lowered his rifle slowly, then ran forward. Others emerged from hidden shelters, from underground bunkers, from ruined buildings. They gathered around her, not cheering, not crying, just watching, as if she might vanish like a dream. A woman stepped forward, her face lined with soot and sorrow. You're really here? Lena nodded. I am. Are there others? Just me and the ship that brought me. They looked up at the sky but saw nothing. It's cloaked, she said, but it's watching. A boy no older than 10 tugged her sleeve. Are the monsters gone? Lena knelt to his level. I don't know, she said, but we're still here, and that means we can fight. The group murmured, some cried, some hugged each other. Lena stood and looked at the faces around her, scarred, tired, but alive. She turned back toward the sky. Thank you, she whispered. High above the chorus ship remained silent, but in its core the beings watched. She carries more than memory, one said. She carries will, the other replied. Perhaps we were wrong about them. Perhaps. Lena walked with the survivors toward their settlement, past gardens growing in old bathtubs, past wind turbines made from car parts, past children drawing on salvaged paper. They showed her their world broken, but rebuilding. That night around a fire, she told them everything. The fleet, the silence. The chorus, the trial. They listened in silence. When she finished, an old man named Henry spoke. We never stopped broadcasting. He said weak signals every hour on the hour, just in case someone was out there. Lena smiled. Then they heard me. They hoped you would. The next morning, Lena helped repair a water purifier using parts from her pod. She worked alongside engineers, farmers, medics, people who refused to let the world end days. She tightened a bolt. She felt a vibration in her pocket. Her comm unit lit. A message from orbit. The chorus, they had detected something, not on Earth but on Mars, a signal strong. Clear repeating. 3 words. We are waiting. Lena's blood ran cold. Who the chorus did not know. But it was human. Lena gathered the group that evening. We're not alone, she said, and we're not the journey to Mars took less than a day. The chorus ship moved through space like a thought, swift and silent, its black hull drinking the starlight as if it were water. Lena stood at the observation port, watching the red planet grow larger, its rust-colored surface scarred by ancient rivers and newer craters, some fresh, some old, but all marked by something new. Structures not human, not alien, but both towers rose from the valleys. Marineris Canyon made of fused metal and stone. Their shapes strange, yet familiar, like someone had tried to rebuild Earth cities with broken memories, and in the center of it all a signal pulsed steady, strong, repeating 3 words over and over. We are waiting. The group from Earth stood behind Lena. 23, souls wrapped in salvage flight suits and hoped they had brought what they could, food, water, tools. A few weapons, but mostly questions. Henry, the old engineer, touched Lena's shoulder. You sure about this? No, she said. But we have to know. The chorus. Ship slowed, entering Mars orbit without a sound down below the surface. Stirred lights flickered to life in the towers, not electric, but something softer like bioluminescence. Then a new signal came. Not words, but images. A face, human, female, mid-30s. Sharp eyes, dark hair pulled back. She wore a uniform Lena recognized. Mars Colonial Science Corps. My name is Dana Cruz. The voice said, if you are hearing this, you are not one of them, one of who the silence that took Earth, the ones who offer peace. But steel your will. Lena's breath caught the chorus beings, turned their violet eyes toward her. You knew, she said to them. We knew some resisted, the chorus replied. Some hid, some fought. And you left them here. We do not interfere unless invited. Lena turned back to the screen. Dana was still speaking. We built this place in secret, deep under the ice cap. We used old terraforming tech to mask our heat. We broadcast silence for months, then switched to this signal, hoping someone human would hear our, you alone. No, Dana said. We are 312 and we have something you need. What a weapon. Not a bomb, not a laser, but a frequency. A sound that breaks their hold. It doesn't kill it. Lena looked at the chorus beings. They showed no anger. Only quiet interest. You never told us this, she said to them, because it was not our story to tell. The chorus replied, the choice was always yours. Lena made her decision, take us down. The drop was smoother than Earth's thin air and low gravity made, the landing gentle. They touched down in a wide crater surrounded by the strange towers. The hatch opened. Cold, dry air rushed in. Donna stood waiting, flanked by 2 guards with rifles, their faces hard but their eyes wide with wonder. Lena stepped out first. You're real, Dana said. So are you. They embraced quickly. Then Dana led them through a hidden tunnel into the heart of the settlement. It was built inside a lava tube, wide and warm, lit by glowing fungi and recycled solar lamps. People moved with purpose. Not fear. Children played near hydroponic gardens growing potatoes and kale. This place survived the silence, Dana explained. We saw Earth go dark. We thought we were next, but we went quiet first. We buried our signals, we powered down everything. How did? You know about the chorus. We captured one. Elena stopped whatnot. Being a drone, a small scout. It landed near our North Station. We trapped it, studied it, found the signal they used to call mines home, and you reversed it. We made a counter signal, a song that says stay yours. Lena felt a chill. It works on test subjects, yes, but never on a full chorus. Being Lena looked back at the sky where the black ship waited. Maybe it's time to try. That night plans formed in a room lined with old server racks and Hand-drawn maps. Donna's team had built the device. They called it the Anchor. A sphere of copper wire and quartz powered by a geothermal tap deep in the Mars crust. It needed to be activated near a chorus core to disrupt their unity. But the core was on their ship, which orbited Earth. Lena shook her head. No, it's here. Everyone turned. The chorus ship that brought us, it's not just a vessel, it's part of them. Dana frowned. How do you know? Because it watched me, because it let me win, because it wants to see what we do next. The chorus beings appeared at the entrance to the room, silent as always. You are correct. One said the ship is a node of the greater mind. Can your anchor affect it? It can try. Why would you allow this? Because balance must be tested. The chorus replied, if your song is true, it will not destroy us. It will remind us that not all minds wish to merge. Lena stood. We go at dawn, at first light. They carried the anchor through the tunnels to the surface. The chorus ship hovered low above, the canyon, its coils gently pulsing. Lena climbed a ridge with Dana and Henry, the anchor between them. Humming softly, the chorus beings stood below. Waiting, Lena activated the device. A low tone filled the air, not loud but deep. It vibrated in the bones, in the teeth and the soul. The black ship shuddered. Its smooth surface rippled like water from its core. A light flared, not violet but gold. Then voices, not one but hundreds, thousands, echoing from the ship. Human voices. Lena's crew. Captain Ellis, Dr. Mehta, Engineer Rojas, all of them speaking at once, not in pain but in confusion. We were dreaming, they said. We forgot. We were us. The chorus beings fell to their knees, their violet eyes dimming. What have you done? Lena whispered. Freed them. Dana said, tears in her eyes. No. Lena said, looking at the chorus, you gave them a choice and they chose to remember. The chorus leader raised its head slowly. We did not know it was possible to return. You do now. The ship opened. Figures emerged, not just Lena's crew, but others from a dozen species, all blinking in the red sunlight, all touching their own faces as if rediscovering them. The chorus beings stood slowly, their forms less rigid, more fluid. You have changed us, one said. We just reminded you that choice matters, Lena replied. In the days that followed, Mars became a crossroads. Humans from Earth and Mars worked together, sharing stories, tech seeds. The freed aliens chose to stay or leave. Some returned to their worlds to spread the song of self. The chorus ship remained but changed, its black surface now streaked with silver. Its hum softer. More questioning. Lena stood with Dana on the ridge, watching a shuttle lift off, carrying the first group back to Earth. You going with them? Dana asked. Not yet. Lena said, there's more out there. I know. Dana smiled. We detected another signal near Jupiter last week, faint. But human. Lena nodded. Then that's where we go next. But first they had to bury their dead, hold memorials for those lost during the silence. They built a stone circle on the ridge and placed names on smooth rocks. Then they planted a tree, a real earth oak grown from a seed saved in a pocket for 3 months. It would grow slow in the thin air, but it would grow because that's what humans did. Meanwhile, in the chorus ship, the beings gathered around a new core, not of unity but of memory. They recorded everything: Lena's defiance, Dana's ingenuity, the anchor's song, and they sent it out not as a call to join, but as a question. What will you choose? Light. Years away on a world of crystal spires, a young being heard the signal, and for the first time in its life it said, noon, a gas giant's moon. A hive mind paused its endless merging, and one drone turned away. On a desert planet, a warrior dropped its blade and looked at the stars. The ripple had begun back on Mars. Lena helped wire solar panels to the new comms array. A child ran up holding a drawing. It was of her and the black ship and a tree with green leaves for you. The child said. Lena took it. Thank you. She pinned it to the wall beside a photo of her mother. That night she sat with Dana and Henry, sharing a meal of rehydrated stew and real coffee. You think Earth will be okay? Dana asked. It's hurt, but it's healing. Lena said. Like us. Henry chuckled. We're a stubborn bunch. The comms crackled. A new signal. Not from Jupiter, from Proxima. Centauri weak. But clear, a human voice, singing a lullaby. Lena's eyes filled. They made it. Someone made it all the way to another star. And they were still human, still singing, still fighting, still hoping. Lena stood and walked outside. The chorus ship glowed softly above. She raised her hand. not in surrender, but in greeting. Ready, she said. The ship opened a portal. Dawn broke over the red hills, and the journey continued. The jump to Proxima Centauri felt different this time. Not like falling, but like rising. The chorus ship carried them through folds of space wrapped in a silence that no longer felt empty, but full of waiting. Lena stood at the front of the observation. Decker hands resting on the cool railing beside her, stood Dana Henry and a dozen others from both Earth and Mars, all chosen not for strength but for heart, for the kind of stubborn hope that plants trees in ash. Outside, the stars stretched into rivers of light, then snapped back into points as the ship slowed. Proxima B hung before them, a world of deep blues and swirling white clouds once thought too harsh for life, but now humming with something new. A signal, not just a lullaby this time, but a full broadcast, music, voices, laughter. Children playing a market day announcement, a weather report. Human life loud and messy and alive. But something else too. Beneath the joy ran a thread of tension, a warning hidden in plain sight. If you hear this, do not land near the eastern ridge, they watch from the towers. Lena exchanged glances with Dana, who watches. The chorus ship pulsed softly as if in answer. They descended through thick clouds into a sky streaked with sunset gold, the planets' surface unfolded below green valleys. Rivers wide and clear, cities built not of steel and glass but of living wood and woven stone. Grown, not constructed, and in the distance the eastern ridge rose sharp and black, crowned with tall spires that did not belong, not human, not chorus, but something older. The ship settled in a wide meadow outside a settlement called New Hope. People emerged not with weapons but with open hands, faces lit with disbelief and joy. A woman stepped forward, her hair streaked with gray, her eyes sharp with command. "I'm Captain Nora Bell," she said, voice rough but warm. "You're the ones from the song." Lena nodded. "We heard you singing." Nora's smile broke like dawn. "We thought no one would ever harm." They walked through New Hope streets lined with fruit trees and solar vines. Children ran barefoot past homes with open doors. This place survived the silence too, Nora explained, but not alone. She led them to a hill overlooking the eastern ridge. "We were not the first humans here," she said, pointing to ruins half swallowed by jungle stone walls carved with symbols that made Lena's skin prickle. "Who were they, the first wave?" She said they came 200 years ago in a ship called the Perseverance, lost during the early Exodus Wars. Earth thought them dead, but they found this world, made it home. And the towers, they built those to watch the sky for rescue. But someone else came. The chorus? Nora shook her head. Worse. The keepers. The name landed like a stone. They wear silver masks. She said they speak in riddles. They offer gifts that rot your mind from the inside. They say they are saving us from chaos. Lena felt cold. They sound like the chorus. They are not the chorus, one of Nora's people said, stepping from the trees, a young man with a scar across his cheek. "His name is Kai. He's one of the few who escaped their grasp." Kai looked at Lena. "You have the song, don't you? We doth use it before they take everyone." That night, in a hidden chamber beneath New Hope's central tree, they gathered the anchor device, now upgraded with Mars tech and chorus resonance crystals. It hummed softly on a stone table. "The keepers are not like the chorus," Dana explained, studying scans from Kai's stolen datapad. "They don't want unity. They want control. They rewrite memories, make you love your chain show. Do we fight that?" "With truth," Lena said. "The anchor doesn't erase it." "Reminds." Nora nodded. "We tried to fight with guns. They just smiled and turned our own people against Uso. This time we fight with memory." Plans formed quickly. Kai would guide them through the jungle to the base of the eastern ridge. Dawn would be their cover. Lena would carry the anchor, and the chorus ship would wait. Not to fight, but to witness. As night fell, Lena sat with Kai under the stars. "Why did you run?" he asked. "Because forgetting is worse than dying," she said. He nodded. "I remembered my mother's face. That's what saved me." They left before sunrise, moving like shadows through thick ferns and glowing moss. The ridge loomed ahead, its towers pulsing with a sickly green light. At the base, a gate stood open. "No guards, no alarms, too easy," Dana whispered. "They know we're coming." Lena said. They entered. The interior was beautiful and wrong. Walls lined with living vines that whispered as they passed floors that shifted underfoot. showing glimpses of other places. Other times, in a central chamber stood a figure, tall, robed in silver, a mask covering its face, smooth, featureless. "Welcome," it said voice. "Like honey over glass, we have waited for the song." Lena held the anchor tight. "You took their memories. We gave them peace." The keeper replied. "Chaos is pain, order is love." "You lie." The keeper tilted its head. "Prove it." Lena activated the anchor. The tone filled, the chamber not loud but deep, vibrating through bone and thought. The walls shuddered, the vines recoiled, and from the upper levels voices cried out, not in pain but in recognition. "I remember my name is Eli. I had a dog named Spark." The keeper staggered. Its mask cracked, revealing not a face but a swirling void. "You cannot undo order." It hissed. "We're not undoing." Lena said, "We're reminding." The anchor's song grew stronger, fed by the returning memories of the people above. The keeper screamed a sound that tore at the mind, but the chorus ship responded not with force but with harmony, its own hum joining the anchor, creating a chord that shattered the keeper's control. The void in its face collapsed. The mask fell beneath was nothing, just empty robes. The towers began to crumble, not from destruction but from release. The green light faded, replaced by warm gold. People poured from the upper levels, confused at first, then joyful as memories returned. Nora found her daughter sobbing in her arms. Kai hugged his younger brother. Lena stood in the center, breathing hard. "It's over." Not quite. A new voice from the sky. The chorus beings appeared not on the ridge but above it, floating in air. Their violet eyes brighter than ever. "You have faced a shadow of the old ones," they said. "What do you mean?" The keepers were not the source. They were echoes, fragments of a mind that fell long ago, a being that once sought to end all suffering by ending all choice. And it's still out there, where beyond the rim, past the veil of dead stars, it waits for silence to spread so it can plant its order in the void. Lena looked at the people around her, at Nora holding her child, at Kai, laughing with his brother, at Dana, checking the anchor's power levels. "Then we go find it." The chorus beings bowed slightly. "You carry more than a song, now you carry a warning, and a promise." They returned to New Hope, where a feast waited, not of scarcity but of celebration. Music filled the air. Real instruments, not recordings. Selena sat with Nora. "Under the great tree you'll leave again, won't you? Yes, to fight a god, to remind it that humans choose even when it hurts." Nora raised her cup to that. The next morning, the chorus ship opened its hold. Not just Lena's group now, but volunteers from New Hope. Mars and Earth stepped aboard, engineers, doctors, teachers, children, all carrying something precious. A photo, a seed, a song, a story. The ship lifted into the red-gold sky of Proxima B below. People waved not in fear but in faith as they jumped to faster-than-light travel. Lena stood at the front watching the stars blur. Dana joined her. "You think we'll win. Not win." She said, "Survive, maybe. But that's not the point. Then what is to show the universe that being human means more than surviving? It means remembering, choosing, loving, even when it's hard." The ship entered the void beyond known space. Here the stars were fewer, the darkness deeper, and in that dark, something waited, not a ship, not a planet, but a presence vast and cold. It spoke without sound. "You bring noise to the quiet. We bring life to the silence," Lena answered through the ship's comm. "You will be stilled." "Try us?" The anchor flared. The chorus ship sang, and from every human on board memories rose like sparks. A mother's kiss, a first step, a shared meal, a promise kept. The darkness recoiled for the first time in eons. It felt something. Doubt the presence did not attack it. Watched, and in that watching something changed. Not surrender, but pause. The ship slowed. Lena felt it, not victory, but a chance. She opened a channel, not to fight, but to speak. "We are not your enemy," she said. "We are your reminder that silence is not peace, that choice is not chaos, that love is worth the risk." The darkness pulsed once, then faded like a sight. The stars returned, the crew cheered. But Lena did not. She knew it wasn't over, just delayed. They turned the ship toward home. Not one home, but many. Earth, Mars, Proxima B, and others waiting in the dark as they flew. Dana handed Lena a small box. "What's this?" A gift from New Hope. Inside was a seedling from the great tree, its leaves already glowing faintly. Plant it where it's needed most. Lena smiled and placed it in the ship's garden beside the oak from Mars, two trees from two worlds growing together. Henry joined them, looking at the stars. You think they'll keep singing? Lena nodded. As long as someone remembers the words. And somewhere in the universe, a child hummed a lullaby under alien stars, and the silence listened, and for the first time did not answer. The ship sailed, carrying not an army but a family, not a weapon but a song, and the story, like humanity itself, was not finished. The chorus ship drifted between stars, not fast, not slow, but with purpose, its black hull now streaked with silver and green like living bark, carrying its human cargo through the quiet. Dark Lena stood in the ship's garden where the two trees grew, side by side, the oak from Mars, its leaves tough and small, the luminous sapling from Proxima b, glowing soft gold in the dim light, their roots tangled in shared soil, a silent promise that life could blend and still be strong. Dana entered holding a datapad, her eyes tired but alert. "We're getting signals again," she said. Not distress, not music this time, but patterns repeating in prime number sequences, a human trick to say we are here and we are thinking. From where? The TRAPPIST-1 System 7. Earth-like world circling a cool red star, once a dream for colonization. Now a whisper in the void. Lena touched a glowing leaf. It's faint, but clear. Henry shuffled in behind Dana, his hands stained with engine grease. They're using old deep space protocol, the kind we taught cadets before the silence. Someone remembers, or someone was taught. They gathered the crew in the central chamber. 27 souls from 3 worlds, all bearing scars and songs. Nora from Proxima b stood tall beside Kai, her daughter Lily clinging to her hand. "We go," she said simply, not as rescuers, Lena added as reminders. The chorus beings appeared at the edge of the room, their violet eyes calm as ever. The TRAPPIST system is watched. They said, "By who be those who fear? Your song, then we sing louder." The jump took 2 days. When they arrived, the star hung small and red in the sky, its 7 worlds strung like beads on a thread. The signal came from TRAPPIST, the 4th planet once considered the best chance for life, but as they drew closer, sensors showed something strange. Cities, yes, but not ruined. Not hidden thriving towers of crystal and vines spiraling into the sky. Streets alive with movement, lights pulsing in rhythm, and above it all a skynet of silver threads, humming with energy. Not a defense, a cage. They're broadcasting joy, Dana said. But it's too perfect. No variation, no mistakes. Like a recording. Lena nodded. They're being made to perform happiness. The chorus ship cloaked itself in shadow and settled. In a high orbit, Kai studied the scans. There's a core beneath the main city, a machine pulsing in time with the sky. Net, that's what we break, but how the net will detect any intrusion, unless we don't go in as strangers. Lena turned to the chorus. Beings, can you mimic the net's frequency? For a time, yes. Then we go in fast and quiet. They prepared in silence. Lena carried the anchor, now wrapped in woven vines from Proxima. Be its hum softer but deeper. Donna wore a cloak of recycled solar fabric. That bent light. Henry carried tools, not weapons. Nora held her daughter close, then kissed her forehead. Stay with the ship, Lily. I'll be brave, Mama. They boarded a small shuttle shaped like a seed, its surface mimicking the Skynet's pulse. As they descended, the city unfolded below, beautiful and wrong. People walked in perfect lines, smiling the same smile. Their eyes empty. Music played from every wall, the same melody over and over. No children ran, no one argued. No one cried. This isn't peace, Lena whispered. This is sleep. They landed in a garden square where statues of faceless figures stood in poses of eternal calm. No guards, no alarms. Just the hum. They moved toward the city center where a great dome rose from the ground, its surface shifting, like liquid metal. The core inside the dome, the air grew thick with pressure. At the center floated a sphere of silver light pulsing in time with the sky net, and around it stood 7 figures robed in white. Their faces smooth, blank masks. The curators. You are out of pattern, one said, voice smooth and flat. We bring a new song, Lena replied. Songs, 'cause chaos, so does silence. She activated the anchor. The tone spread not as sound, but as memory. A child's first word. A tear after loss, a laugh that hurts your stomach. The curators staggered. The sphere flickered, and in the streets below people stopped. One woman touched her cheek, wet with tears. She hadn't cried in years. A man dropped to his knees, remembering his wife's face. The Skynet cracked. Light bled. Through the curators turned to each other, confused for the first time. What is this feeling? It's called being alive. Dana said. The anchor's song grew stronger, fed by the returning emotions of thousands. The sphere dimmed. The curators' masks fell, away, revealing human faces, old faces, tired faces. We only wanted to end the pain, one whispered. But you ended the joy too. Lena said gently. The dome opened. People poured in. Not angry, not violent, just awake. They hugged strangers, cried in the streets, danced, in the rain that began to fall. The chorus ship descended slowly, its presence not threatening but honoring. The freed humans looked up, not in fear but wonder. Lena stood in the center of it all, breathing the wet air. Nora found her holding Lily's hand. Now you did it. We all did. In the days that followed, the Trappist cities changed. Music returned, but now with mistakes and joy. Children ran barefoot through fountains. Markets buzzed with real voices. And at night people gathered to tell stories. Not perfect tales, but messy, true ones, full of loss and hope. Lena sat with the former curators, now just elders in simple clothes. Why did you do it? She asked. After the silence came, they said, we thought we were saving them from grief, but we stole their hearts. Instead, you can't protect people from being human. Now they offered the core sphere to Lena Burnitz. He shook her head. No. Keep it as a reminder. They placed it in the central square. Now a garden where the first wildflowers pushed through the polished floor. Before they left, Lily gave a drawing to an old woman who had been a curator. It showed 2 trees and many hands holding them up. The woman wept. Aboard, the chorus ship plans formed again. Signals came from other systems, Tau Ceti Vega, Eridani even, Andromeda faint but growing. The song was spreading, but one signal stood out strong, clear from the galactic core. Not human, not chorus, not keeper. Something else, ancient, waiting. The chorus beings gathered around Lena. That place is forbidden. They said the first, mind sleeps there. The one who dreamed of perfect order. You mean the one from beyond the rim? It has moved. Lena felt a chill. It's building something. Yes, then we go not to fight, to remind. The ship turned toward the center of the galaxy as they flew. Dana worked on a new version of the anchor, weaving in memories from Trappist E Mars, Proxima B Earth. It became less a device, more a living thing humming with voice. Shenry taught the children how to fix engines using parts from old dreams. Nora led singing. Circles were lullabies from a dozen worlds blended into something new. Lena spent hours in the garden watching the trees grow. One night, Kai found her there. You ever wonder if we're making it worse? She looked at him. Sometimes pain is the price of being real. He nodded. I just hope it's worth it. Look around, she said. He did. Through the viewport, stars burned. Inside the ship, a child laughed. In the garden, the trees swayed. It's worth it. They entered the core region where stars crowded close in space. Bent strange, the signal grew stronger. Not a call, but a pulse like a heartbeat. And there it was, not a planet, not a ship. A sphere of black crystal floating in the heart of a dead star's remnant. The first mind, it spoke without words. You bring noise to the cradle of silence. We bring life to the dream of control. You will be folded into peace. Trilina activated the anchor. But this time it did not hum alone. Every human on board opened their minds, not just memories, but feelings. The sting of betrayal, the warmth of forgiveness, the ache of missing someone, the thrill of creating something new. The chorus ship joined not with unity, but with witness, and from 1,000 worlds, the song rose. Earth, Mars, Proxima B, Trappist A, and more, all singing the same truth. Choose the black sphere cracked, not from force but from surprise. Within it a light flickered, old and tired. You do not understand the weight of chaos, it whispered. We carry it every day. Lena answered. The light pulsed once, then dimmed. The sphere shattered. Into dust not destroyed, released. The dead star's remnant flared once, then went quiet. The chorus beings bowed their heads. The first mind is gone. No, Lena said. It's just sleeping again. And next time it wakes, maybe it will listen. They turned the ship, not to one place but to all of them. As they flew, a new signal came. From a world they had never heard of. A child's voices, singing a lullaby with words from Earth, Mars, and Trappist. He all mixed together. Lena smiled. Play it over the ship's speakers. The song filled the corridors, in the garden. The trees rustled their leaves, lightly danced in the aisle. Henry tapped his foot. Dana closed her eyes and smiled. Nora held Kai's hand, and Lena stood at the front watching the stars. Not as a soldier, not as a savior, just as a human carrying the song forward, because the universe was vast and dark and beautiful, and Earth was not finished, and neither was humanity, and the story, like the song, would never end. The chorus ship sailed through the outer arm of the galaxy where stars grew sparse and the dark ran deep. Its hull now woven with living vines and etched with names from a dozen worlds. Each one a promise kept, a life remembered. Lena stood in the garden where the two trees had grown into one. Their branches tangled, their leaves shimmering gold and green. The anchor rested at their roots, no longer a machine, but a stone, humming softly with the voices of those who had sung it into being. Dawn had just broken over the ship's inner cycle lights, mimicking a sunrise they had not seen in months. Dana entered holding a small bowl of fruit grown from seeds saved from Earth, her steps light with purpose. "We're getting a new signal," she said, "not from a colony, not from a rescue beacon, from a ship human design, but old, very old." The Perseverance, Lena's breath caught. That was the first Mars colony ship lost over 200 years ago. It vanished before the silence even began. "This signal is weak, but clear," it says. "We remember the ocean. Only someone from old Earth would say that." They gathered the crew in the central chamber, now lined with murals painted by children from every world they had touched. Nora sat with Lily on her lap. Kai leaned against a wall, sharpening a knife made from chorus crystal. Henry checked the ship's logs with quiet focus. The Perseverance was last seen heading toward the Orion Spur. They said it was searching for a habitable world beyond known charts, and it never came back until now. The chorus beings appeared at the threshold, their forms softer, more fluid than before. "That region is veiled. They said space there does not behave as it should. Then we go carefully," Lena replied. "The jump took 3 days. When they arrived, the stars were wrong, not missing, but shifted as if someone had moved them slightly out of place. And there in the center of the distortion floated a ship knot. Broken knot, drifting, hovering. The Perseverance, its hull patched with strange metal, its solar sails torn but still catching light, and around it a ring of silence, no signals, no life signs, no movement. Yet the message played on loop, soft and steady. "We remember the ocean." Lena felt a pull in her chest. "That's not a distress call. It's an invitation." They approached slowly, the chorus ship cloaking its presence. As they drew near, the Perseverance lit up. Not with weapons, but with soft blue lights along its hull like bioluminescent plankton. A hatch opened. No one emerged, just a ramp of light leading inside. "Too easy," Kai muttered. "Maybe it's not a trap," Lena said. "Maybe it's a test." She stepped onto the ramp alone. The others watched from the viewport, hearts pounding. Inside, the Perseverance was not empty. It was full of life. Not people, but memory walls lined with screens showing waves crashing on California shores. Children building sandcastles in Florida. Rain falling on London streets. The air smelled of salt and pine. And in the center of the bridge sat a figure, not human, not machine. Being of light and water, shaped like a woman, her eyes deep blue, her voice like tide pulling on stone. "Am the last echo of the Perseverance," she said. "I am what remained when the crew chose to become something new. What happened here? They found a world beneath the ice of a moon. Here they called it Thalassa, a place of liquid oceans and gentle giants who sang in the deep. The crew lived among them for generations, but time moved differently there. When they returned, only weeks had passed for them, but centuries for us. They tried to go back, but the way closed, so they poured their memories into me and walked into the sea to join the song." Lena's eyes filled. "You're alone, not anymore. You came. Why send the signal? Because someone had to. Remember the ocean, not just as water, but as home, as freedom, as the first cradle of life." Lena reached out and touched the being's hand. It felt cool and real. "You're not a ghost. You're a keeper of stories. Yes, then come with us." The being smiled. "I cannot leave the ship, but I can give you what I hold." She placed a hand on Lena's forehead, and suddenly Lena was standing on a beach. The sun warm on her skin, the sound of waves in her ears. Her mother beside her building a sandcastle just like when she was 6, she cried. Then it was gone, but the feeling remained. The being stepped back. You carry it now. The Perseverance began to dim its lights, fading like a sunset. Thank you, Lena whispered. The being nodded, then dissolved into mist that flowed out the hatch and into the chorus ship's garden, where it settled around the roots of the twin treeback aboard the chorus ship. The crew sat in silence. Dana wiped her eyes. That was real. It was memory made alive. Henry cleared his throat. Sensors are picking up something else. What? A planet hidden behind the distortion. Thalassa they approached slowly. The world was blue. Not from land, but from endless ocean broken only by archipelagos of black rock and glowing coral. And in the deep, something moved. Great. Shapes gliding through the water, singing songs that vibrated through the ship's hull. Not words but feelings. Welcome grief. Hope belonging. Nora held Lily close. Do we go down? Lena looked at the ocean world, then at the faces around her. We were invited. They took a shuttle shaped like a seed and descended through thick clouds into soft rain on. A black sand beach figures waited, tall, slender beings with skin like mother-of-pearl eyes like deep water. They wore no clothes, no tools, just shells and woven. Kelpone stepped forward and placed a hand on its chest, then pointed to Lena. You remember the ocean? It said in broken English. Learned from old broadcasts. Lena nodded. Eye to the being smiled. You are welcome. They led them to a village built on stilts. Over the water homes made of bone and coral connected by rope bridges. Children swam below, laughing, their limbs sleek like dolphins. That night they shared a meal of roasted fish and sweet tubers grown in floating gardens. The Thalassans spoke little, but their song said everything. After dinner the elder took Lena to the edge of the village. Beneath us the Deep One said, holds the first song. The one before words, before stars. What is it? Life remembering itself. Lena looked into the dark water and felt it, not fear, not wonder, but kinship. The next morning they prepared to leave, but Lily ran to the elder and gave her a drawing of the twin tree. And the ocean, the elder placed it in a shell and hung it from her neck as they lifted off the Thalassans. Sank the chorus ship joined the song, and the ocean world glowed with soft light back in space. Dana checked the long-range sensors. Another signal. This one from the Magellanic clouds, faint but human, and it was singing the lullaby with Thalassan tones, woven, and Lena smiled. They're learning. The ship turned toward the dwarf galaxy as they flew. Henry worked on a new map, not of stars, but of voices. Each signal a dot of light growing brighter. Nora taught the children how to weave stories from different. World Sky practiced knife throws using chorus crystal that sang when it cut air. And Lena spent hours in the garden, where the mist from the Perseverance had taken root. Small blue flowers now bloomed among the leaves, each one releasing the scent of salt and rain when touched. One night Dana found her there. You ever think about stopping? Lena looked at the stars through the viewport. Maybe when the last human forgets the ocean, but they won't, nah. They entered the Magellanic clouds where stars burned young and hot. The signal led them to a ringed planet with cities built in the clouds floating on gas and light. The people there called themselves the Sky Weavers, and they had been broadcasting the lullaby for months, hoping someone would answer. When the chorus ship appeared, they did not hide. They opened their arms. Lena stepped onto a platform of woven light and was greeted by a woman named Illyra, her hair like spun silver, her eyes full of stars. You carry the song, she said. We doven. Sing with us. For 3 days they shared stories. The Sky Weavers had survived the silence by hiding in the upper atmosphere, their cities invisible to all but those who knew how to listen. They had heard the lullaby from Proxima B, then from Trappist, and then from Earth. Each time they added their own verse now. They gave Lena a new one about stars being born from tears of joy. Lena added it to the anchor, which now glowed with soft blue light. Before they left, Illyra gave Lena a loom made of starlight weave. Your journey, she said, so others may follow aboard the ship. Lena began to weave threads of memory into the loom. Each strand a world, a face, a song. The chorus beings watched in silence. You are becoming more than human. One said. No, Lena replied. I'm becoming more human. The ship sailed on. Signals came from everywhere now. From dust clouds, from neutron stars, from places no ship should survive. And each time they answered. Not with weapons, not with force, but with song, with memory, with the simple truth that to feel is to be alive. And one day as they drifted near the edge of the local group, a new signal came. Not human, not chorus, not keeper, not Thales, not Skyweaver, something new. A voice never heard before, singing a lullaby in broken English, learned. From someone who heard it from someone who heard it from Earth. Lena activated the ship's speakers and played their version back. The unknown voice paused, then changed its song to match a conversation began, not in words and music, in hope in the shared belief that no one should be alone. Lena stood at the front of the ship, tears on her cheeks. Dana joined her. They're learning to be human, Nolina said softly. They're learning to be themselves. And that's enough. The chorus ship turned toward the new voice. Not to save, not to lead, just to be there as the first note of a new friendship rose into the dark and far away on 1,000 worlds. Humans and others planted trees, sang lullabies, and remembered the ocean. Because the story was not about one hero or one ship, it was about connection, about choice, about the quiet courage to say, I am here and I remember. And as long as that song lived, Earth was not finished, humanity was not finished, and the universe would never be silent again.